this comes from the, shall we say, something psychological in the part of choosing well in the species, then that need to choose the, say, the alpha male of the society that surrounds you. When a woman is about to ovulate, she needs the most masculine trait, because you need to have offspring that can be strong, that can survive, and that can have many more opportunities within that society. So before ovulation, women kind of look at this psychologically, these types of features, these types of shoulders, because it's from the strongest, the one who can have good genes for procreation, and that this new individual, this child, can be, let's say, the leader of the pack. Let's put it this way. But when this hormonal part passes, on the other hand, they are already looking, if you say in the psychological part, with both less root, because that part of species selection. Let's put it this way. So this is something purely psychological, and it is also loaded by the hormonal part, because they are different hormonal stages. So this is also linked to the attraction part. So if you put in a hormone that will alter your hormonal part, it will generate different cycle. It will generate different attraction. But here I think we have seen a lot of questions, but I think we all have to educate ourselves here. Is educating, especially the youngest, the fact of responsible sexuality? Having responsible sexuality is the same as starting to have intimacy with a partner of the opposite sex, which is the only reason why we can generate a new life. Is that there is a greater responsibility first with your body, because you have to know how to take your partner first. Second, at the moment in which they have this activity or this relationship, because by knowing the woman's body, the menstrual cycle, can it be applied? It's called rhythm contraception. As long as the woman has a period, let's say routine, we can use that there without the option of any pills or contraception. But today's society lives in dire straits, and you no longer expect, and above all, a teenager. You never wait. So one is more urgent already at our age. We are more passive and we think a lot, of course, but not when we are young. The same hormonal presence means that no, let's not wait, of course.
And I just wanted to add, as a matter of fact, Otto, I agreed with what you say, how the use of sex in a relationship. I completely agree with what you said. So I just wanted to make sure that one thing wasn't confused with the other. But it's true. It's true. And what David is saying too, it's the responsibility, and also we need, like, from a biological point of view also, when you are young, in your youth, especially in women, it it's so important to not only educate people sexually, but to understand, like, the changes that are happening, because, like I said, the ovaries are talking to the hypothalamus, and that's how they're starting to understand the reproductive system. And like David is saying, it's funny because I was just telling I told a friend years ago. He was like, he le- he wanted to, um, he wanted to be with, he wanted to have a baby, right? And he was like, "Oh, my wife is always in a bad mood, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Does she take birth control pills?" I asked him, and he was like, "No." I was like, "Okay, so wait until the ninth day. She'll probably be more attracted to you, like David was saying." She'll probably start looking at you, look a little tough, go to the gym, buff up a little bit. She'll probably come crawling to you because of it. And it's not that the woman is being promiscuous. It's just the call of nature in chemistry and biology for women to be predisposed for this. And it's funny because the birth control pill stops that natural cycle of how women should feel. And Autumn, you ever heard when they say, like, women are unpredictable with their emotions? I
Yeah.
can tell you that's not true.
Mhm.
If women didn't take birth control pills, they will be super predictable.
Well, even like that's why I love that David mentioned the natural family planning, right? Because like, so when let's say you take a woman who's not on birth control, right? She is experiencing the cycles still of her body, right? So if you're ovulating, you tend to be more sad, right? Or wait, no, is it your luteal phase? No, I think it's in your luteal phase where you just start to hit a low, and then in your follicular phase, you have more energy, and your menstrual cycle, you're shedding the lining, so you kind of feel tired. You want to do things more slowly. And then there's another, in your other cycle, you're like ready to take on the world. So it's like if she leans into those phases and kind of like she eats according to her cycle, that's what I've been learning about, actually, like eating according to your cycle, leaning into the emotions you feel during your cycle. Honestly, right, like you're saying, it tends to make more sense and you don't feel so like out of whack. But right, like when you're on birth control, it's like you're putting a pause on all of that. And I know some women still bleed on birth control, but it's not a real period. It's like a false bleed that's happening. And so your body, think about a woman who's on birth control for like 15 years. Her body has not released what needs to be released. It's actually crazy to think about.
Mm. What's so funny? Like, so almost ever since she's been educating me on it, like I could sometimes like tell like which phase along she's in on like the 4 phases, like the 4 seasons of the month. So I'm like it's great because like she's been educating me for it, which I like, like why would I like need to know that as I'm growing up? I'm playing sports more than anything rather than picking up like until I have a girlfriend, right? And so I have a girlfriend, she starts telling me about it. I'm like, oh, it's all making sense now. So it's that education way that could also connect us then to adhere or to tier along with that cycle base. Like we could assist. So the moods are gonna come either way. Like we were just saying, like it's gonna go up and down. You're gonna be sad at some points because not because you're just sad, but because your body is just going through.
And this is why women are like, if they didn't have, let's say normally most women that wouldn't take birth control, you can kind of tell what their mood is going to be. But think about it, now you're on birth control, and just think about not only the cognitive changes, but also the how women respond to stress because of these changes. Like David was saying, the hypothalamus is confused. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to stimulate the ovaries. We're supposed to have a baby. Let's go. And then suddenly, like, oh, are we? Or oh, we're not. Okay, we're stopping this. And now I'm prolonging. You got to remember, damn, I forgot the name of it. The Not estrogen. What's the other hormone? Progesterone. So the
Progesterone.
Yeah, progesterone. So that hormone is there to conceive a baby, to embrace the fetus. So it's getting kind of like it's going to that stage all the time. So it disrupts the communication. So what happens? Your cortisol levels go up. It produces stress. The body doesn't know. Think about it. Our brain doesn't like to be uncomfortable. Our brain likes to be comfortable. That's why we have a hard time adapting, correct? To change abruptly. Think about like every month your body is confused. Wouldn't your brain get stressed about the communication happening? And that your body's trying to do something biologically natural and it's get disrupted all the time. Just think about that. I was going to ask David about, what he knows about that kind of in chemistry.
Well,
Maestro style cosmic call.